The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication. Podcast publishing made easy. Libsyn.com. That's Libsyn.com.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Network Western Stories, riding into the Wild West of gunfighters, tales of cattle drives, and sheriffs. Those tales of rough and rowdy adventures of those heroes of the Wild West. We now go back to the early days of Westerns on the radio and our imaginations with our feature presentation.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver, the Lone Ranger. Silver-shod hoofs racing down the trails of yesteryear, carrying the famous Lone Ranger into thrilling new adventures. People of 7 states have seen him ride into daring action in the cause of justice. Stories of his many heroic deeds have come down through the years to be told once more. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! That's it, old fellow! Stretch out those great legs of yours! Santa's waiting for us! We must get there in time! Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
A mysterious band of outlaws terrorized the southwest of the United States. They burned homes, stole cattle, and murdered ranchers. The law was helpless to stop this, for they never left a trail behind that anyone could follow. As our story opens, we find the Lone Ranger and his loyal Indian friend Tonto racing toward the flaming buildings of the Box X Ranch.
Get him up, boy! It looks like more work of the raiders, Tonto. That's right. Come on, Silver! We might get there in time to find the clue. No man left alive there. I'm afraid not. Come on, Silver! This is the 3rd time we've seen this sort of thing. Possibly this time the gang may have made some mistake. Oh, Silver! Oh, boy! Oh, there. Steady. There's hardly any use to look, but perhaps there's someone here that can be helped. Help. Tonto, there's a man still living. I need help. Steady. We're here to help you. See how badly he's hurt, Tonto.
My head feels like it's most cracked open.
Him got big bump on head. Not hurt bad.
They hit me with a rifle, but I still can't see so good, mister.
Take it easy.
I thought I heard someone groaning a while back. Maybe someone else has survived the raid.
Look around, Tonto.
Me too.
There it is again. Help him, stranger.
Here, other feller lie.
Who is it?
Is that you, Sheriff Burns? I thought them devils had killed everyone.
That sounds like Tom. If only my head had clear.
It's me, all right.
You hurt bad, Tom?
They got me in the shoulder, but it ain't so bad.
You'll be all right soon.
My eyes is better now. Get around the light there so as we can see you, stranger. I reckon we ain't done for.
Lie still. You've had a tough time of it.
A masked man.
Part of the outlaw gang.
And an Injun.
We aren't outlaws. We saw the fire and came to help. Is this your ranch?
It's Tom Halstead's. Or at least it was.
Ain't nothing left now.
That's Tom, you see. I'm the sheriff.
I see your badge.
The name is Burns. Now, if you really aim to help, you can find a way to get us into town.
We'll get you to town, all right, Sheriff. Have you any idea who the raiders are?
No, we couldn't see none of them.
This isn't the first raid by that same gang. They've struck at half a dozen ranches east of here.
They have?
Why ain't we heard about it?
They never leave survivors. The news travels slowly in this country in spite of the railroad.
Then we're lucky to be living. What else do you know about them?
They attack at regular intervals, and no one has found their trail.
Is that so?
3 weeks ago, the same men attacked 40 miles to the east. 3 weeks before that, they made another attack. And just 3 weeks before that, another.
Land's sakes.
And no trace of the cattle can be found.
Never a trace? How do they hide it?
I don't know, but I have an idea, Sheriff. Is your head better now?
Yeah, it's aching, but I'll be all right.
Well enough to ride in the morning?
Where to?
To trail the outlaws. If my idea's right, I want you along when I prove it.
Mask or no mask, stranger, I'm with you.
And you can count on me, too.
You can't travel with that shoulder, Tom. Take it easy for a few days.
Where? Them embers is what's left of my house.
You come to town and stay at my place, Tom.
We'll take you there as soon as Tonto finishes the bandaging.
The Lone Ranger proved himself willing to help the sheriff. He and Tonto took the lawman and Tom Halstead back to town. But before the masked man left, he had won the sheriff's full confidence. The following day, the ranger and his Indian friends spent several hours studying the ruins of the Box X ranch while waiting for the sheriff.
That's Sheriff Burns coming now, Tonto. Him right on time. Tonto, I'm sure that our idea is right, but it may be hard to prove.
Whoa there. Whoa. Yeah, here I am, mister. Right on time. What's this idea of yours?
I'll tell you later. Tonto and I have already found a trail that might be that of the outlaws.
Found it? How'd you do that?
My friend is no equal in reading trails.
I've heard that sometimes Indians are uncanny that way. You riding that trail?
We've just been waiting for you.
Well, I'm here. Let's travel.
Yep. Come on, Silver.
You're right about that Indian part of yours. He's better than bloodhounds when it comes to following the trail. And that ain't all.
No?
He fixed Tom Halstead so's town will be as good as new in another day or so. Tom was raring to go this morning. Would have, too, if I hadn't kept him in bed kind of forcible.
I'm glad of that. His shoulder will be completely healed in a short time.
Sure it will.
Then he'll be able to help us in the attack on the outlaw gang.
Attack? Gosh, you ain't figuring on attacking them critters, are you?
Why not?
Why, we can't get enough men together to go get them.
We'll worry about that when we've located them, Sheriff Burns.
You seem to know what you're doing. Leastwise, I hope you do.
Oh, that's what
Why have you stopped, Tonto?
This where trail ends.
At the railroad tracks, huh?
Good. I don't see what's good about it. Ain't nothing here but them railroad tracks for as far as a man can see.
And those tracks, Sheriff Burns, tell the entire story.
Eh?
Tonto, are you absolutely certain the trail of the cattle stops at the railroad tracks?
That's right.
If the trail did go beyond here, we could follow the cattle a darn sight easier. Up to here, there's so many hoof marks that they're all mixed up.
That's just why those outlaws have been so secure.
I don't savvy.
Get off your horse, Burns. Let me show you something.
All right.
This flat rock will do to draw on. I'll use this sharp stone to scratch lines. Here. This is the railroad track along here.
Yeah?
Now, over here is the Circle K Ranch. That was the first one to be raided by the outlaws. It's right near the tracks, you see.
Yeah. I didn't know they'd been raided, though.
All the men were wiped out. The buildings burned and the cattle stolen. Now, coming on toward the west, we find the next ranch.
Yeah?
That was raided in the same way. Just 3 weeks after the Circle K tragedy. The next ranch was west. And the next one west again. So on till we come to the Box X.
Tom Halstead's place.
That brings us right here, where once again the cattle trail ends at the boundary of the ranch.
Same thing happened in the other cases?
Yes, and that proves that a railroad train was here to carry the stolen cattle to some market in the east.
So that's how the polecats moved along.
It is.
Then that means that the next attack should be about due when the next train heads east.
Exactly.
And it means it should come at Bart Cummins' ranch. That's the next place to the west.
I'm sure of it, Sheriff.
Shucks, what's the use of being sure? Ain't a chance of getting men enough to fight them
Lone
outlaws.
Ranger
They got an
was
army of men lined up.
the worst
Whole
outlaw
two-gun
in
men,
the
well
West.
mounted.
And
His
suppose
name
you
was
just
Butch
do
Cavendish.
nothing and let the outlaws
They
take
had
over the
followed
state.
trail
What?
for many
That's what you're
weeks,
suggesting.
until
I'm
finally
darned if I
they
am.
noticed that
I'm
the
asking you
footprints
for
of the
orders.
outlaw's horse
Just
were
tell me
fresh.
where we'll get the men to fight and then watch my gun smoke.
Yes, Tonto. We can't be far ahead.
Well, run us last time. Maybe better we shoot in sight.
No.
Push him right way.
The outlaw band had their hideout miles
Get
beyond the railroad tracks where the Lone Ranger had talked to the
Tonto's
sheriff.
horse was tired and
The
no
camp
match
was
in
well
speed
hidden.
for the animal
Their trail
Cavendish
always
rode.
covered.
The outlaw
And they
escaped.
felt absolutely secure.
When Tonto returned from the futile chase,
Riding for a
he
ways
found the
on the
Lone Ranger
choo-choo train
standing
is the
beside his
slickest
dead
son I
horse.
ever heard
A good
of.
horse, Tonto.
Moves everyone off the
Loyal,
trail,
faithful,
including
and
bloodhounds.
But my next horse must be faster.
Mister,
I wish that-
take my advice and don't
Tonto,
ask no questions.
you've heard stories
Ain't good
of a
sense
wild
to ask
horse,
things
a
about
fiery
False
white
Lacey.
stallion.
He don't like it.
Well, I was just wondering.
Don't wonder. Savvy?
We'll be on the lookout for the wild horse while we follow
It's
Cavendish.
Lacey now. Billy's riding a mile off. Reckon he's got the dope on our next job. Maybe so.
I wonder what it'll be.
I told
Tonto's
you not
horse
to
carried
get
the
too
Lone Ranger's
curious.
saddle, his
Boss
saddlebags
will
and
tell us what we
bridle,
need to know.
while the masked
Gosh,
man
you
and
look
the
so
Indian
powerful
continued
mad
on
about
foot along
something.
the outlaw's trail. When they reached the top of a hill,
Look, Tonto.
they halted suddenly and stared at an awe-inspiring sight far down in the valley.
I ain't going to waste words.
They saw a great white
found out that
stallion
after
in
the
a
raid
death
on the
fight
box
with a
X,
giant buffalo.
2 men were left
The horse
alive.
was plunging,
Well,
rearing,
boys,
charging,
2
and
men.
dodging wildly.
Maybe they seen us.
And the sun
Maybe they
flashed
can
from
tell
his
what we
coat
look like
as from a
and how
coat
we
of
talk.
polished silver.
Maybe lead
They
a posse.
realized that this was the legendary white stallion, the one ranchers
Did I
and hunters
say
had talked
so?
so much about.
No,
Then shut up.
Must have that horse.
Steve?
I'll try to shoot the buffalo.
You were
Too
supposed
far
to
for
see that
pistol
everyone
shot.
was
I'll get
took care
closer
of
before it's
proper.
too late.
Yeah,
As he ran
How'd
down
you
the
come
hill,
to
the Lone
miss out
Ranger
on
watched the
Tom
battle.
Halstead and
The
the
swift
sheriff?
white stallion was nimble and
swore they
courageous,
was dead
but his strength
along
began
with
to
the
wane.
bodies.
The buffalo
Hey,
charged
they
again
tell
and
anything
again.
about us, boys?
The splendid
No.
muscles of the white
They
horse
don't
were
know
slower in
anything more
responding.
about us
Then
now
too
than they
slow.
did
He was
before
caught
the
by the
raid.
buffalo's charge.
But that ain't no
Crimson
excuse
stained
for
his
you,
pure white
hombres.
coat. Another
This is the
charge.
last
The white
warning.
horse saw it coming and he
From
couldn't
now
dodge.
on,
He staggered
if
and
any
fell.
of you
The
fall
monster
down
drew
on your
back and
job,
lowered his head for the death
you get
charge.
what we give the
And
other.
then 2 shots rang out.
We're going to do all our
The
plans on the
buffalo
next
shuddered
job.
from the impact of the
coming
masked man's
train.
bullets.
Using the
For an
train again?
instant, he stood
Didn't I say
motionless.
so?
Then fell.
Train's in here. We move in on the ranch.
Hadn't the same as last time, boss?
Yeah, except for leaving survivors. We won't need to change our plans none. Squint, you and your boys take care of driving the cattle to the train.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm leaving you the job of cleaning out the waddies. And don't miss up again. I won't.
Only battered
You
and
set fire to all the
bruised,
buildings.
white stallion lay quietly.
Some of our own men are working on the ranch. When we make our attack, they'll work from the inside and we'll work from the
The
outside.
injured horse.
There's a plenty of
Then the
slick
wounds were
steam, boss.
closed.
Now pass the
Horse's
time as you
strength
want.
had
But
returned.
stay in camp.
There was
When
once
the train
more fire
comes,
in his eye,
we
a
start.
spring in his step, and his head was lifted proudly.
Yeah? What's on your mind?
Tonto.
Listen,
He's
fella.
himself
You
again.
tell me just one thing.
More questions?
Yeah, my curiosity
I
is
wonder
getting the
if you'll
best
take
of
a
me.
saddle. Let's
I'm
try.
hankering to find out how the
There,
boss works this
boy.
here railroad business.
Well, I suppose ain't no harm telling you that.
No,
See if
Tonto,
there
wait.
would be.
You see, it's
Go.
this way. Lacey has a regular
Have that
business
horse
worked
more
out.
than anything in the
Got an
world.
office in
But he
Kempenville.
deserves
That's on the
his
railroad.
freedom.
I know the town.
A man there handles the selling to a cattle
Time to
outfit
look
in
at
the
it.
east. They buy the
See how
cattle.
the sun
And the
reflects
man at
from
Kentonville
the
makes a sale. He arranges for the railroad to pick the cattle up at a certain ranch.
The ranch we attack, eh?
That's
name
right.
for him.
Don't the firm that does the buying know it's stolen?
No, the brands are fixed up and changed around.
What about the men on the railroad?
Tonto,
Well,
he's coming back.
ain't but two.
Just
They're
as
both
if
in
he
the
knew what I
engine.
said.
Don't they know they're loading stolen cattle?
They shut their eyes to things for what boss Lacey pays him. He always uses the same men. That's why he has to
As the
wait for
mighty
that
stallion
particular
felt the
train.
halter, he trembled as if from a
Got a
chill.
man
Every
on the
instinct told him that he
payroll
must
and the
flee at
telegram
once
was
to
to
preserve
make
his
dead
freedom.
sure
And yet he
the
stood his
right
ground.
men run the
It wasn't
chariot.
gratitude that kept him there.
Gosh.
It was something
There's no
stronger.
chance to
Some
bust up an
mysterious bond of
organization as big
friendship
as
and
ours.
understanding.
Not a chance in
He
the
heard the
world.
man's
I tell you,
voice,
Pard,
and he
you're with a
liked it.
smart man when you're with Lacey. Just watch how he takes the Cummins
We're going
reins.
to be partners.
It'll be a sight to see. Look out. Here he comes.
Now, you new man. Everyone in this here outfit is a fast
Never
shooter.
was a horse
You
like
wasn't,
this.
you wouldn't be in this gang.
That's all.
We're going to
I'm
work
building
together.
this
The
gang
horse
into
was
the
wild
strongest
and
one the West
unused to
ever
the ways
used.
of men, and the
You
weight
all
of his
know what I
saddle
want
and
from
rider.
you,
But
and
the
Squint
masked
will see
man
that
was
you
a
obey
kind
orders.
teacher. He was
Now we We've got our plans made to clean up the coming trend. Bart Cummins has one of the finest herds of cattle in the state.
And did his best to cooperate. He learned
now
quickly.
Listen careful.
And after several days
tell
of
you what we're
training,
going to do.
he was ready.
Follow me, Tonto. I'm going after Cavendish. Come on, Silver!
No hoofs had ever beat the plains like those thundering
The curtain
hoofs
falls
of the
on the
great horse
first act of
Silver.
tonight's thrilling Lone Ranger
During the
drama.
past few days,
Before the next
Cavendish
exciting
had gotten
scene,
far away,
please permit us to
but
pause
Masked
for just a
Man
few
Tonto
moments.
trailed him relentlessly with only a minimum of rest. It took days to put down the outlaw's lead, but at long last, Cavendish came into view.
There he is. Come on, Silver!
The mighty stallion responded with a new burst of speed. Cavendish fired wild shots over his shoulder until his gun was empty. His horse, though powerful and fast, was no match for the charging Silver. Fear and panic filled the outlaw's face. He heard the hoofbeats ever nearer, and then the masked man shout,
I want you, Cavendish!
The masked man's avowed mission was accomplished. The last of the Cavendish gang was captured to be tried by law and punished for his crimes. There were many others whose criminal plans were to be challenged by the Lone Ranger, his faithful Indian companion Tonto, and his great horse Silver.
Now to continue our story. You will recall that in the first act of our drama, the Lone Ranger and Tonto rescued the sheriff and Tom Halstead from the burned ruins of Box X ranch house after a raid by a mysterious band of outlaws. No one in the territory had been able to understand how the gang made away with the cattle they stole without leaving a trail. But the Lone Ranger discovered that the rustlers used the railroad and stole only from ranches bordering the tracks. Our scene opens in the ranch house of Bart Cummings, miles west of the Box X. Bart is speaking to his wife.
Oh, gosh, Linda, I'm tired.
You have a hard day, Bart?
Yeah. Seems like when one thing goes wrong, everything else has to bust loose at the same time.
What's wrong?
I don't know exactly what's wrong. Nothing to put your finger on, but the hands is all excited about raiding and snoopers.
What do you mean, Bart?
Well, I told you what we heard about the raids east of here.
The Box X?
Yeah. But I reckon I better not say no more. No use borrowing trouble.
Bart Cummins, you tell me what it's all about.
Now, Lindy.
You ain't worried none about them raiders, are you?
Yes, I am. Yesterday, the boys seen a couple of hombres sneaking around and spying on the cattle.
Bart, you mean...
I mean I'm powerful afraid we're in for trouble.
But we have plenty of hands to fight.
You mean we had?
What?
I didn't tell you before, Linda, but some of the boys deserted a couple of days ago. Soon as they heard this here raiding talk.
Oh.
I had to have hands, so I hired whoever come along. And I don't know how far they can be trusted.
Maybe you hired some of the outlaws.
That's what I've been thinking. I don't like the looks of the new men, but I can't run a ranch without help.
It'd be a slick outlaw trick to have men right on the ranch they plan to clean out.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Lindy, I don't like the looks of things. I got a mind to pack you off to town to live with your aunt till them raiders are caught.
No, Bart. I'm staying right here as long as we have this ranch.
Well, if there's anything to this raiding business, you won't be safe here.
Neither would you. Ain't it so, Bart?
Yeah, but...
Then I'm staying. If there's any danger, you're not facing it alone, Bart Cummings.
Oh, gosh, Lindy, What is it?
What's that?
Anything wrong?
Matty, we caught this here masked hombre down by the bunkhouse.
Bart.
An outlaw.
I'm not an outlaw.
If you ain't, why are you wearing a mask and a brace of 6 guns? What's the idea of snooping around my ranch?
I came here to speak to you.
Came here? Looks to me like you was fetched.
Several ranches east of here have been raided and men killed.
Yeah, I know.
Your ranch will be next.
Why,
You see, boss, he is one of them. He's making threats
I
to...
came here to warn you so that you could prepare for them.
You mean you came here to spy on us? If my men hadn't caught you, you'd be back with your outlaw pards by now, telling them the whole layout of this ranch.
No matter what you think, your ranch is in danger.
Boss, should we take his guns? He said he'd come along peaceable if we let his guns and that mask alone.
Good idea. Hand over them guns, mister.
I'll take them.
I got the drop on you, and I aim to find out just who you are.
Stand back.
What?
Don't make a move, any of you.
Did you see that draw?
Faster and greased like
I warned you. Guard yourself against the outlaws.
Wait.
Stand where you are.
Get him! Open that door!
Get after him! Shoot him down!
Don't let him get away! No use going after him.
That horse he's riding goes like chain lightning.
Ain't no use to even fire after him.
Maybe he was honest, Bart.
You heard him threaten us?
Maybe he wasn't threatening.
Huh?
What he said could have been a warning as well as a threat.
No one has to draw as fast as that unless he's an outlaw.
There's one man has.
Yeah?
A man that rides a white horse, Bart. A horse called Silver.
Silver?
That's what he called his horse.
I know it.
Then great guns. He must have been the Lone Ranger.
I've heard of him.
If that was the Lone Ranger, then what he said was true.
But what can we do, boss?
First, we set out a double watch. All old hands that we can trust.
But we ain't got enough men.
No, we got enough men if we work all day and night. We take 3 hours sleep in 24.
What else?
Watch sharp and be ready to fight to the finish. That's all we can do.
Our scene changes to the town of Osage. Tom Halstead has been asking the sheriff a number of questions, which the lawman has refused to answer directly.
I ain't saying nothing about my plans, Tom, in case they don't work out. How's your wound?
I told you before, Sheriff, it's all right. I'm as good as new thanks to that Injun. Where is he anyhow?
I don't know.
Well, ain't there anything you can tell me? For days now, we've been waiting here. Just waiting, that's all. Cleaning guns, keeping horses saddled and ready to ride. What are we waiting for?
Can't tell yet, Tom.
How long will it be before you can tell?
When's the next train due?
How in thunderation do I know? Last train meant the wiping out of my ranch. If I never see another, it'll be too soon for me.
I reckon you'll see more trains, Tom. Maybe the next one will be as much good luck as the last one was bad luck.
Are you sure the cattle thieves use the railroad?
Ain't sure of nothing. I'm just waiting, Tom. That's all. Just waiting.
Sheriff.
He's come.
Tonto.
You ready ride?
Is it time to ride, Tonto? Tell me, is it time to ride?
Time here.
Then come on, Tom. That's what we're waiting for.
At last.
That's what we kept the horses saddled for. Follow me. Lead the way, Tonto.
Get men in town.
I talked to every man in town separately, and they're all ready. Tom, ride to the cafe. Tell the boys here it's time to ride. Tell them the Lone Ranger needs them.
The Lone Ranger?
I'll signal with my gun. Come on, boys. Come on, get riding. The Lone Ranger needs you. Get up there.
Working quietly, Sheriff Burns had enlisted every available man in Osage. At his command, they mounted their horses and rode after him. At each ranch they passed on their way, even the smallest, the sheriff shouted to the men they saw,
Come on, turn out! Turn out! The time's at hand! Get your horses and follow us! Get up there!
As the hard-riding posse thundered on between Osage and Bart Cummings' ranch, their numbers increased. They passed through the sleepy town of Merida, and once again the voice of Sheriff Burns brought men to join them.
Turn out! Turn out, boys! Get your guns and horses! Come along with us! The Lone Ranger needs you!
The sheriff and his hard-riding men raced along, increasing their number as they went. The outlaws prepared their attack. It was some time later when the train they'd been expecting slowed down to a stop near the Cummings ranch. It was the signal for the gang to start their raid.
Remember what you're to do, boys, and don't miss out. There's a train all ready for us to load the cattle on.
You sure your own men are in the engine, boys?
Yeah, they'll be there all right. Train wouldn't have stopped if they hadn't. Head for the house first of all. Get Cummins himself, then his family, then the cowman. Last of all, the cattle. And don't leave no survivors.
While the outlaws charged toward the house, Bart Cummings and 4 of his men drew their guns and stood ready. They knew their cause was hopeless, but they were prepared to make a desperate effort to defend themselves. We hear Bart as he cautions his wife.
Lindy, you keep down beneath the windowsill.
I will. And as fast as your guns are emptied, pass them to me. I'll load.
Oh, there they come. The train's already stopped at the track.
The train that'll carry your cows away.
They won't none of us see it. But take all of them you can, boys, before you go down.
How close are they now, Bart?
Not far. The moon makes things as bright as day. Lindy, take this 6-gun. I don't know if they'll try to capture you, but don't let them. Save 1 bullet, just in case.
I understand.
They're starting.
All right, boys. Pour lead into them.
Hey, Bart.
Yeah?
They got more men aboard the train. Look, them cattle cars are pouring scores of men out. And horses.
How many they got in the gang? Silver! Did you hear that?
That's the same man we captured here. Great guns. Bart, the men on the train are fighting the others.
It can't be true.
It is. Look.
Bart, the miracle has come.
We don't need to fight. Look at them others riding down the field.
Let's fight anyhow. Come on. Instead of waiting, we'll attack.
The outlaws were taken completely by surprise at the appearance of the sheriff and his men. The posse leaped from the cars and closed in on the gang. Lacey was shot in the fighting, and a score more of the outlaws went down before the posse's blazing guns. The remaining outlaws soon threw down their guns and surrendered.
Don't shoot. Let me surrender. Let us all surrender. We'll face trial.
You'll face trial, all right.
Yeah, and you'll tell all you know about this scheme. It was Lacey's gang. Now he's dead. He had everything lined up.
Where's my cattle? I'm Tom Halstead.
Your cows are sold, but give me a chance and I'll help you get the cash.
The engineer of that train was in the gang, wasn't he?
Yeah, him and the fireman.
I thought so. I had to rope them. They wouldn't help smash the gang by stopping the train and take the sheriff and his posse aboard.
Stranger, I thought when you was here the last time you was making a threat. But then I found out what they call you.
Come, Tonto. Sheriff Burns will take charge. Come on, Silver.
Ah, that's him all right. Allers rides away without thanks.
And Cummins, on top of everything else, he smashed the worst gang this country's ever known. Who is he? Don't know what right you got asking questions, but he's the Lone Ranger. Gosh, no wonder Lacey's gang was beat.
Come on there, Silver, old boy. We have a reward to deliver. We'll make a poor man happy. Hi-yo, Silver!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.